the planned protest scheduled for August 1st, 2024 across the country. We have been monitoring developments surrounding protest threats. While some groups call for violent protests, emulating Kenya's recent events, others advocate for peaceful demonstrations. However, some individuals promote peaceful protest with violent undertones, raising concerns about their sincerity. We have our own history of violent protests in Nigeria. And I don't believe we have to look to other countries to note the dangers of unchecked demonstrations. We commend patriots who have withdrawn from the protest due to the apparent sinister motives and ignorance of those calling for violence. We note those who have spoken out against any form of protest at this critical juncture, fearing any means of our country may be manipulating the process. We confirm the affairs are genuine, as we have credible intelligence on foreign mercenaries' involvement in this planned protest. The Nigerian police urge all Nigerians to exercise caution and think twice before joining any protest group. While we alert citizens to the sinister motives of certain groups planning to wreak havoc, it has become clear that even a peaceful protest at this time may be ill-timed. We issue a stern warning to clandestine groups plotting to destabilize the country and hoodlums seeking to exploit protests for their criminal agendas. We will not tolerate the killing of innocent citizens, destruction of public infrastructure and private property, or looting of private businesses. We acknowledge the constitutional right of Nigerian citizens to peaceful assembly and protest. However, in the interest of public safety and order, we urge all groups planning to protest to provide necessary details to the Commissioner of Police in the state where protest is intended to take place. To facilitate a successful and incident-free protest, they should please provide the following information. 1. Proposed protest routes and assembly points. 2. Expected duration of the protest. 3. Names and contact details of protest leaders and organizers. 4. Measures to prevent hijacking by criminal elements, including key identifiers for possible isolation of potential troublemakers. By providing this information, the police will be enabled to deploy adequate personnel and resources to ensure public safety, designate specific routes and areas for the protest to avoid conflicts with other events or activities, establish clear communication.
Okay, let's go straight. Let's just delve. First off, we want to commend the protesters and the agitators for ensuring that they didn't give in for threats. Before the police came up, the Nigerian military men already addressed the nation, and some content in the address were to an extent quite disappointing, because in a democracy, nobody can criminalize protests. Secondly, the fear of the Nigerian army that people can burn public infrastructure should not even come in the context of peaceful protest. It is very clear that in the past, protesters have well organized themselves with or without police. And I recall very well that the past one, the last popular one in the country, being NSAS, was also quite peaceful until men of the Nigerian security agencies decided to unleash mayhem on protesters. In other words, the purveyors of violence are not protesters. We only know that it is the high-handedness and extreme use of unwarranted force by men of the security agencies that usually causes protests to resort to violence. That said, protesters are ready this time again to organize themselves as usual without violence. And we also want to urge the Nigerian government at this time, because the urge by Nigerian government to protesters It's actually supposed to be the other way. It should be Nigerians addressing the government that please don't bring violence to us this time. It has always been that protesters are always peacefully organized. Sponsored elements by, of course, are the ones who usually come to disrupt protesters. Nigerians are well organized people, not violent. Men of the Nigerian military force are expected more so to be confronting terrorists. It is terrorists that burn down public infrastructure. It is terrorists that use explosives. It is terrorists that use weapons. Protesters only have placards which bear information of their demands. And if placards now look like weapon, then what are Nigerian political office holders afraid of? The placards. So if give us electricity, give us good road, create employment, let there be electricity. If those are the things that are threatening to politicians, then it is questionable. It is quite questionable. And we can do better. Now we understand that the men of the Nigeria police force are now offering to protect protesters. And we also understand that politicians are beginning to run away, afraid that it may turn out. But the Bible says, if your hands are pure, what would you run from? What would anybody be afraid of? What would anybody be afraid of? Why would you want to run away from the country if your hands are pure? That's exactly the only point I have to make here. Why are politicians fleeing the country at this time if their hands were pure? So take note of anybody running away at this time and just understand that there's certain kind of guilt that is making them flee the country at this time. Another point to note is, whenever there's going to be a protest, why is it that the police is always, the Nigerian government, and especially through the Nigeria police force, always mention two things. Number one, is ill-timed. Has there ever been a time perfect for protest by the Nigerian government? Has there ever been? They always come up to say ill-timed. It is ill-timed. Again, in August, ill-timed. Okay, suspend it, come back in September. They'll still tell you ill-timed. Come back in October, ill-timed. Come back in November, ill-timed. Come back in December. Oh, it's about Christmas and it's going to be New Year. Ill-timed. Come back in January. Oh, it's the beginning of the year. Ill-timed. Has there ever been a time that the Nigerian government, Nigerian police officers say a protest is not ill-timed? No. It is always ill-timed to them. That's number one excuse they always give. The second one, they say, oh, they fear hijack by criminal elements. Since when? Has there ever been a time you don't fear hijack? Because if you fear hijack, it is a question on the police, actually. The law guarantees that police should provide security to protesters. Therefore, the excuse that you fear hijack, possible hijack, is there any gathering that is not exposed to possible hijack? No, I ask. Mention any gathering in this country that is not exposed to possible hijack. If you like, let it be church. Yeah, even Sunday services. Pastor comes with his bouncers, his mopole, his everything. Churches provide security. Why? Possible hijack. Every Sunday, possible hijack. If you like, throw a party that people should just come and dance and eat. Possible hijack. Every public gathering has such thing. Everything. Church is exposed to possible hijack. That's why pastors come with security. And the job of security is to maintain law and order and make sure that any element that is likely to come and foment trouble, what do? They take such. That is exactly what we are saying, the job of the police. You see anyone that's likely to turn the atmosphere into violence, you take such, and we will support it. Ever since we've been protesting, I coordinated in Ota. I co-coordinated in Ota the last time doing NSAS when we were shouting, fix Ota roads. We thank God we got results to an extent. Yeah, we are still pressing for more. They fixed Joju already. They fixed up to toll gates, some go to toll gates. They fixed some parts, and they're already breaking to expand the Sangodi Roko road. Yeah, now I can confirm that. Police joined us. At the moment we saw that police, some elements who had browsed with policemen before, cited the ones that they hated among the police officers and wanted to start pelting them with stones, I stopped them. I also remember sometime in Unilag, we were having protests and we already shut the gates to say no, all of us, no going out, no coming in. None so, I remember, we were all at the Senate building. We were all, at some point, we did not know that some angry protesters had already gone to shut the second gate and there was a bullion van. So I was just, instinct was just taking me around campus. I was with Jao Simi, the then speaker, before the union was banned. Then we got to the second gate and I saw a bullion van. The driver of the bullion van was already panicking. It was on campus with the bullion van. And he already opened the door, stayed at the door. He was stationed at the door and was already panicking. And I saw it and I said, no. And things can go wrong too quickly at this point. And I don't want this place to turn to a crime scene. Please, open the gates, liberate this bullion van. It's not, that is not good for this scene. Before they will now say, they can now come out and say they want to, students robbed a bullion van. No. Not acceptable. I don't want anything to change the purpose of the protest. No, liberate the bullion van. And they opened the gate and then we shut it again. In fact, the next oncoming car after the bullion van was a lecturer. He said, please, I want to go. I said, no. You can leave the car and go and come back later. But the rule is, the reason I liberated that bullion van is the purpose of that kind of special vehicle. That is not security. If you hold the bullion van down, things can change within it. So organizers of protesters are reasonable. As protesters, we are reasonable. And we work with reasonable police officers. When they come around, yes, you are welcome. Because their children are among us. So we always tell them, your children are also in school with us. Your children are also suffering. We are fighting for you as well. We want a pay rise for you. And this country has the resources. Do you understand it? This country has the resources. And the police officers will understand with us, they'll station. And they'll just be telling us, please, like, what time do you intend to close? Like, what time we'll say, don't worry, let's just continue. And we always work together. We can maintain that relationship. While the politicians are running away, let the police protect protesters. This country belongs to us. Protect us. Leave the VIPs now. Let them run away. Let them run if they want to run. Then protect the real people, the real citizens of this country as they demonstrate, and let the world know their plight. We want to let the world know that this is 2024. We are still agitating for electricity. We are still agitating for good road. We are still agitating for food and potable water. We are still agitating. We want to let the world know. That's all. That come in Nigeria, our country, 2024, this is what we are still agitating for. That's what we want to do. Is that too much to do? No, we are not fighting. And I see some people in this comment, for instance, saying, so are you saying Igbo people are criminal by burning Lagos? I want to ask if it was only Igbos that did it, if you have evidence. It's not about tribe. Crime is crime. Whoever is burning public infrastructure is a criminal. It doesn't matter whether you are Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba. No. I don't ethnicize crime. That is me for you. I don't ethnicize crime. I don't. Once you are caught doing anything untoward, now protesters now by ourselves we go and do over. Say, oh yeah, see this hoodlum. I don't see your tribe, I see hoodlum in you. Simple. You are a hoodlum, simple. I don't see your tribe. I see the elements in you, hoodlum. And let such person be dealt with as such. That's me. Oh. Fact, that is me. It's the way I've been doing. I don't see. Go and ask in Uniland. Somebody wanted to don't say, oh, Igbo or Moibo. I say, no, if you merit it, let him do it. That's me. I don't see your tribe. So please I don't want to join the argument about, oh, Igbo should go to their state kingdom country. Nigerians can stay anywhere as the country. We cannot behave like if some unguarded elements are saying such things on social media. Oh, we are Igbos. We want Peter Obi. We want we are Yoruba. We want Bat. I don't do that. I don't do such, and I cannot join them in that fully to be promoting such ethnic politics. No, I put all of them together. You remember during the election, I brought all of them. I said, this is Tinubu. This is policy on subsidy. This is policy on education. This is article. The same policy on subsidy. The same policy on education. This is Obi, the same policy on education, the same policy on subsidy. They are all the same. That is me. If you now want to ethnicize this, it's your problem. I've said it. I said they are all the same. So it doesn't mean if Obi is there, would have done anything there. And I always tell people who say we want change, and I ask what type of change. Whether you change to Obi or you change to Atiku or you change to Tinubu, you are still in the same category of people. They are all establishment politicians. If you are looking for a true change, none of these three should be in your box, in your option box. None. Fact, none. So I'm not going to join anybody in their folly to think voting Obi automatically means change simply because you are Igbo, or because if you give it to Tinubu simply because you are Yoruba, or if you don't give Atiku, power is not going back to the north. All those sentiments, I'm not in it. Please excuse me from all this. You are in Nigeria and you can stay anywhere. If you want to correct something, you don't join those who are doing the wrong thing. So me, I don't join ethnic discussions. I'm sorry. A criminal is a criminal. Anybody you catch, terrorists, deal with him according to the law. So the idea that Igbos cannot protest in Lagos, we are trying to correct it at home in the southeast, shutting down economic hours against the people. So we should now be doing Oro to be like them. How then are we correcting it? Yeah, you can do your Oro, but you can't. I mean, Oro will join protest too. Is Oro not already hungry? Oro will join protest. We will protest together. It's festival of the oppressed. It is festival of the oppressed. Let me see the next comment. Nigerian citizens are extremely patient. In the whole wide world, all you will hear is Kasha Marora Rora, that the merits politicians are using against us. Exactly. You're right. But the same Nigerians are now saying, no, we have done this enough. At this point, Otoge. At this point, Otitoge. Otitoge. Well, this is a little partisan. But even though Shore was my candidate in 2019 and 2023, but a conversation like this is not about your choice now or who is right or wrong. It's about, see me, I always tell people, after elections are over, I am AGIP. My own party is AGIP. AGIP. It means any government in power. And once elections are over, excuse me, I face governance. And the kind of governance I face is to say, hello, everybody. It doesn't matter who is there. We are asking for good road. It doesn't matter who is there. We are asking for electricity. It doesn't matter who is there. We are asking for improved economy. It doesn't matter who is there. We are just asking for basic things. Let there be food. Invest in people. Don't take our money away. Yeah, election time will come. We can all make our choices again. But after election, let's face governance. Shebina will survive, go see the next election. Yeah, let's face governance first. Whoever is there, any government in power, Ajip, let's ask for good governance. That's my own personal position. My own personal position. That said, we want to plead again, men of the Nigerian military, please help us curb terrorism, leave protesters. Accusing protesters of threats to lead the atmosphere to violence and all of this is unprofessional. In fact, coming to confront protesters who only carry placards, I'm sorry, we love the Nigerian military institution, and that is why most times we always sympathize with you whenever we lose some men during anti-terrorism war. We are with you. But please, it is embarrassing to us as a nation, in the Committee of Nations, that military will come and be confronting protesters and shooting them. Please, we do not want such scene again. It's embarrassing. That's number one. It's shocking, it's tragic, it's unprofessional, it's undemocratic, it's uncharitable, it is wrong in all shades and forms. Please, protesters are organizers. If politicians address protesters, there will be no need for military to be drafted in. No need. No need at all. So, anytime they call you again to come and shoot into protesters, just tell them, address them. If you address them, no, what does it take? Come out, talk to people. In fact, I see Tinubu joining protests this time. I see him coming out to join protests. If he doesn't want to address Nigerians, this protest is an avenue for him to come out and say, fellow Nigerians, we are in this together. Unfortunately, we'll be looking for the moral ground for that now, because you cannot say we are sacrificing together while we are using visible, lavish full consumption to mock Nigerians in the face of hardship. No. Cannot be having hundreds of convoy, having new jets, new yachts, new this, new that, billions budgeted for SUVs, the billions that should have been budgeted to fix the road so that everybody can use, even if it's their keke. You want to ride SUVs over those bad roads in order to look different, not to fix the road. No. Those are the things we are demanding. So whoever has the moral ground in this government should come out and address protesters. We are in this together. For instance, tell us how you have accepted a pay cut as part of your own contribution to the sacrifice. Tell us how you have accepted, to reduce your own flamboyant lifestyle too. Not to be showing off that, the likes of Dino Melaye, I just don't understand. I just don't. Is that somebody who should be in government? Do you understand? Throughout the days of Dino Melaye, I will just look at him, I'll shake my head that these people are insensitive. Like, if you are sensitive, you will understand. Oh, people are suffering. You're now going to buy new toys. You'll now be showing the one that is worth 100 million, 500 million to impress who? In the face of hardship. And you're a public servant. No. Even if you have it, you hide it. In the face of hardship, no. It's wrong. So, gentlemen and ladies, that's my address this morning. I'll catch you. If you're in Ogun State, if you're around Ota, we are protesting too. And police will be protecting us. It's a peaceful protest, as you rightly know. So, join us, people. And by the way, if you are living around Denro Isashi, that place where the governor declared he gave contractors 2 weeks ultimatum to complete the road construction. Please, if you are around that place, I would like to kindly inbox us, whether on Instagram, particularly on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. Let us know the progress on that, because it's already past 2 weeks now. I want to know if it has not been completed. Otherwise, I'm taking it up again. This is the time we must press them to task.